Justin Fields, who, when I made this earlier today, it looked like he was somewhat on pace to play, but now I'm getting information that he looks like he's out. Thumb injury. He's already missed 3 weeks. This would be the fourth. What's going on with Fields, Tom?
Not looking like he's going to be ready yet. And they play Thursday or today as people will be listening to this.
Correct.
Just not quite enough time to get all that grip strength back. That's the challenge with this injury, with this thumb dislocation and sprain, is getting that strength back. And as a quarterback, obviously he needs to have really close to 100% grip strength in order to have proper accuracy and to prevent fumbling. So it looks like it'll be another week for Fields, but I do expect him to come back soon and play really, really well.
Hope he does as well. In his place, Tyson Bagent hasn't been terrible. He did throw 3 picks last week, but tomorrow/today's game, depending on when you're listening, I don't think it could get worse for a Thursday night game, man. You got the Bears and the Panthers, which just looks like it's going to be a disgusting football game. And side note here, as bad as the Panthers have been, their defense has been decent. Just something to look out for if you were playing. I don't think you play Tyson Bagent, but any of the guys there, like the running backs, the receivers, they're 8th in total yards, and actually the Panthers are 5th in passing yards allowed. And the Panthers, I guess, are just so bad because of their offense. But even before we wrote this show, before the Fields news came out, I already was probably going to bench him this week just to wait and see. Next guy, another guy returning. You were right in the beginning of the show, Tom. We got Khalil Herbert back from an ankle injury. He was on IR. I think he missed 4 games, right? So is he going to be okay to play? Can we trust him? What do you think?
It looks like he's on track to play Thursday night. He had that high ankle sprain in week 5, in which we saw him try to return in that game and immediately went right to the ground after trying to push off that leg. Characteristic instability with the high ankle sprain. But he's had over 4 weeks to rehab now. So these high ankle sprains, they can be tricky because they can linger, because what happens is the 2 bones, the tibia and the fibula, get slightly pulled away from each other, creating instability in the ankle. And depending on how bad it is, they may not just become back into place. They may or they may not, depending on the severity. And sometimes what happens when they don't fully form back together, there's just lingering stiffness and instability in that ankle. But that doesn't always affect production from a running back standpoint. In fact, our data set, which has, I believe, 28 running backs on it, they average no drop-off in fantasy production in their first game back. And as many as 40% of them are meeting or exceeding like right where they left off from a production standpoint. So I'm not concerned there. There are concerns for this causing or being a factor in future injuries if that ankle function is not the same as it once was. We saw Jonathan Taylor last year, high ankle sprain 3 times. But even in the medical literature, ankle dysfunctions can predispose knee and hip and back injuries. So that's just something we need to look out for right now. It's not something that you need to make any decision on. Are you going to keep Khalil Herbert or trade him about? But just be mindful. Maybe you keep an extra depth piece in your running backfield on your roster. As far as his outlook for Thursday, from a per play standpoint, I expect him to be fine. But he's entering a backfield with D'Onta Foreman, who's looked really good, Roschon Johnson, the rookie. They want to get going. Khalil Herbert was averaging 64% of the snaps. I don't see that happening on Thursday night.
No.
So will his fantasy output take a hit? Probably, but I think it's more from a snap share versus this injury.
Really, really good analysis, Tom. Thank you. And I was benching him. I'm glad that you think he'll be okay health-wise. And again, that reassures my thoughts on him. But it also, again, I'm very deterred from playing him this week because what reason do the Bears really have, or what motivation do they really have for feeding him in this game that we think the ball's not going to really be moved too much? Like, it's a sketchy situation, at least for now. It's a short week. The Bears are atrocious. And D'Onta Foreman's been fine. Like, I don't see Khalil Herbert coming back the first week and just getting the lion's share. Or would you say, Tom, 64% of snaps?
Yeah.
There's no chance. Roschon's snap count was very low last week. I saw it was really low. But again, like you said, they want to get him going. So I'm excited that he's back, but I am avoiding Herbert everywhere I can unless I'm desperate, just until we could see what he can do here. All righty. How about Cole Kmet? So this guy is either elite when he scores touchdowns, or you know what? That's just why he's tight end 5, because even if he doesn't score, he gives you like 6 or 7, which won't kill you. Like, I think he's turned into a lock play, but is he going to be able to play this week at least with the knee injury?
Yeah. He's off the injury report. No concerns there. He's also one that my 3-6 team that's rallying behind. So I will be locked into the game tomorrow to watch Cole Kmet.
There's nothing like locking into a Bears-Panthers game on a Thursday night. God, I'm going to look for something else to do tomorrow. I'm actually going to the zoo tomorrow. Very, very excited about that.
That'll be fun.
That'll be more fun than this football game.